Hi, I'm going to explain how to do the head case challenge in Chadley Simulator. I see a lot of people having trouble with it. The challenge is to kill a mind flayer before killing two little guys around him. The problem is that the little guys self-destruct after a few seconds. So no matter how much you try to focus your three party members on killing the mind flayer, the little guys are probably going to die before you're done. So the trick that we're going to be using here is we're going to rely on the sleep spell to keep the little guys out of the fighting while we deal with the mind flayer. To facilitate that, we want the sleep spell to last as long as possible. So we're going to attach the binding materia to a magic focus materia to increase the spell's duration. I picked Yuffie because one of her weapons, the Crystalline Cross, has a debuff extension passive on it that makes the sleep spell last longer. And I equipped the tarot cards on her because they make the sleep spell last longer again. All of this to keep the little guys out of the fighting as long as possible. On top of this, we have the First Strike materia and the ATB Boost materia, because this will allow me to, as soon as the fight starts, get 2 ATB gauge right away, and I'll be able to cast Sleep as soon as the fight starts on both of the little guys. You'll notice I did not equip the Magnify materia on the binding materia, because the Magnify materia, even though it would hit everyone at once, the sleep spell would last less long. And we don't want that. We want the sleep spell to last as long as possible. And then on top of that, we have the time materia, because we're going to be casting haste on ourselves. And the empowerment materia, because we're going to be casting bravery on ourselves for more damage. Then on Tifa, Tifa's setup is less important. I'm still going to show it to you. I have the time materia and the empowerment materia for redundancy. ATB boost and first strike. Strength up for more damage. All the ATB generation materias just for ATB generation, just because I want to generate as much ATB as I can with Tifa. Ultimately, this is like this exact setup is less important. What's important here is we want to do a damage combo that will kill the Mind Flayer very, very fast. So if you have a damage build, a high damage build combo with a different character, that's fine, you can use that. I'm using Tifa because I think it's the easiest way with her. She has the Kaiser Knuckles that have the highest attack stat, and the Full Throttle Wrist Guard, which are just more damage to kill the Mind Flayer as fast as possible. So we're gonna go in and look at what that strategy looks like.
It's so good to see. I've been traveling, but I'm having some difficulty narrowing it down.
So as soon as the fight starts, I'm going to do ATB boost on Yuffie and then cast sleep on both of those guys.
There's more to me than meets the eye. How about you show
And then
me
I'm gonna
yourself?
make both of my characters sort of walk away, because I want to keep the Mind Flayer away from the center of the arena where the little guys are gonna be.
Won't regret this. All right. You're up.
Okay, here's something important. You want to lock onto the Mind Flayer, but the Mind Flayer will teleport every once in a while. When it teleports, your lock-on will immediately snap to another monster. And this is a reason why I recommend sticking with melee characters and melee attacks. Because if, for example, you have Barret and you're shooting the Mind Flayer, and the Mind Flayer suddenly teleports, and you were locked onto it, your lock-on will immediately change to a different enemy. Barret will snap to that enemy and attack it and wake it up. So stick with melee attacks, and watch out for what the Mind Flayer is doing. Gonna try to dodge that. We're gonna build some ATB. Tifa is going to do Unbridled Strength to power up. Don't get grabbed by that. Gonna do haste on both of us.
Let's move.
Yuffie's gonna cast Bravery on Tifa.
Magnificent Yuffie.
Now we just want to, like, build ATB to make the combo work.
Watch yourself. I'm your one-stop sovereign. Bring it. Don't let me down.
Okay, we're full on ATB on Tifa. And we have enough for a synergy ability. So the only way to pressure the Mind Flayer is to do a synergy ability on it. It doesn't matter which one. Just any of them will work. Now we want to pressure it as fast as possible with the strike abilities. Now with Tifa, you want to try to use focused strike right before an enemy attacks, because if you do that, you'll see that little red shimmer on Tifa. That means you did a perfect dodge with focused strike, and it refunds itself, which allows you to use it again.
Was that it?
There we go, it's staggered. So now Yuffie is going to cast Stop on it, because if you cast Stop on a staggered enemy, it freezes the stagger gauge as long as the stop effect lasts, which gives you more time to do damage to it. And with Tifa, we're going to do a very simple damage combo. If you hold the attack button on Tifa, she will do her uppercut, even if you're powered up. And from that uppercut, you can do dive kick, and you can just chain uppercuts and dive kick like this to do a lot of damage. Or do uppercut, dive kick, uppercut, dive kick. We're gonna do rise and fall, and then Omni Strike to get some ATB back. Uppercut, dive kick, and there we go. It's dead. And the little guys just woke up, just in time to get their ass beat. And even if they self-destruct, it's fine, because the Mind Flayer is dead now, so really all you need to do is stay alive. And there you go. That's how you do this. I see a lot... pardon me. I see a lot of people bash their head against this challenge, trying to wrangle 3 characters to, like, force them to attack the Mind Flayer. And it's not gonna work because, number one, the little guys will self-destruct eventually. That's just what they do. That's just part of their attack routine. They have that countdown that goes down, and when it goes to 0, they self-destruct on one of your guys, and they die. The other thing is that if the enemies are active, your party members will try to attack them. The only way to essentially tell them don't attack that guy is to make that guy sleep. AI party members will not attack a guy that's sleeping. There are some edge cases where, you know, if you ask a party member to cast a spell and that spell has a huge range and it hits a sleeping guy, that guy's gonna wake up, obviously. There are some situations, but in general, your AI party members will not target an enemy that's sleeping. So that's how you deal with this challenge. This is a reliable method. Just use the sleep spell. The sleep spell is really useful. There's a lot of enemies that are weak to the sleep spell. There's even bosses that are weak to the sleep spell. You can use the sleep spell to interrupt some boss attacks. You know who is weak to the sleep spell? Genova. Genova is weak to the sleep spell. Did you know that? You can interrupt Genova doing certain things with a sleep spell. If you're in a challenge with two like tough mini bosses and you just can't handle both of them, cast sleep on one of them. It is a really, really useful spell. Don't sleep on the status effects in this game. They are... You know, if you're experienced with older Final Fantasies, it's easy to think they're useless because in older Final Fantasies, there were very, very few enemies that, you know, you'd benefit from using the status effects because most of most of the bosses were immune to it, most of the tough enemies were immune to it. That's not the case in this game. In this game, a lot of enemies are susceptible to status effects, and you should use them. They are an important tool in your arsenal. I hope this was a useful video, and if I see another person having trouble with this challenge, I'm just gonna link them to this.